Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Are you tired of constantly trying to be positive? Fed up with chasing a fleeting idea of happiness that always seems just out of reach? Today, we re-diving into a book that flips conventional self-help wisdom on its head. Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a *CK. Now don't let the title fool you. This isn't about becoming an indifferent jerk. It's about choosing your battles, focusing your energy on what truly matters, and embracing the inevitable struggles of life with a newfound sense of clarity and purpose. In the next 20 minutes, we'll unpack the core ideas of this international bestseller, explore its most actionable takeaways, and hopefully help you learn the subtle art of giving fewer but more meaningful *CKs. Ready? Let's get into it. So what's the big deal about not giving a *CK? Manson kicks things off by challenging our society's obsession with relentless positivity. He argues that constantly trying to avoid pain, stress, or sadness is actually counterproductive. This is what he calls the backwards law. The more you pursue feeling good all the time, the less satisfied you become, because pursuing something only reinforces the fact that you lack it in the first place. Instead, Manson suggests that true contentment comes from engaging with and even embracing life's inevitable problems. He states, life is essentially an endless series of problems. Well, the solution to one problem is merely the creation of another. The key, then, isn't to avoid problems, but to find good problems. Problems you enjoy solving. One of Manson's most confronting, yet liberating, points is this. You are not special. Ouch, right? But hear him out. In an age of social media highlight reels and constant self-promotion, many of us have developed a sense of entitlement, believing we're destined for extraordinary things without putting in the extraordinary effort. Manson argues this entitlement is a trap. It leads to frustration when life doesn't meet our lofty, often unrealistic expectations. The reality is, most of life is ordinary, and that's perfectly okay.
Accepting your averageness.
Your non-specialness can be incredibly freeing. It removes the pressure to be constantly amazing and allows you to appreciate the simple, everyday experiences and find joy in the process of gradual improvement rather than demanding instant greatness. When you stop feeling entitled to feel good all the time, you can actually start dealing with what's making you feel bad. If we're not supposed to give a *CK about everything, how do we decide what is worth our precious energy? Manson emphasizes the critical role of our values. He argues that many of our problems stem from having crappy values. For example, if your primary value is pleasure above all else, you might find yourself chasing highs that ultimately leave you empty. If it's always being right, you'll alienate people and miss opportunities for growth. Good values, according to Manson, are reality-based, socially constructive, and within our immediate control. Examples include honesty, responsibility, self-respect, curiosity, and humility. Bad values are often superstitious, socially destructive, or not in our control, like wanting to be popular, feeling good all the time, or being the center of attention. The subtle art lies in consciously choosing what to care about, aligning your *CKs with these deeper, more meaningful values. This means getting comfortable with saying no to things that don't align, and accepting that choosing one value often means rejecting its opposite. For instance, choosing the value of honest communication means you might have to reject the superficial comfort of avoiding difficult conversations. Another cornerstone of Manson's philosophy is the idea of radical responsibility. He states we are responsible for everything in our lives, no matter the external circumstances. Now, this doesn't mean we're to blame for everything bad that happens to us, like a natural disaster or a serious illness. But we are always responsible for how we respond to those things. We are always choosing our reactions, our interpretations, and our next actions. This can be a tough pill to swallow, especially when we feel victimized. But embracing this responsibility is empowering. It means you're never truly powerless. You always have a choice, even if it's just the choice of how you perceive and react to your suffering. And speaking of suffering, Manson doesn't shy away from it. He argues that pain and struggle are essential for growth. The question isn't how can I avoid pain, but what pain am I willing to sustain for the things I truly value? Whether it's the physical pain of training for a marathon, the emotional pain of a difficult conversation, or the mental struggle of learning a new skill. This chosen suffering is what leads to a meaningful life. It's about choosing your struggles wisely. How many of us are paralyzed by the fear of failure? Manson encourages us to reframe failure as an integral part of success. If you're not failing, you're probably not pushing yourself or trying anything new. He introduces the do something principle. Often, we wait for motivation to strike before we act. But Manson suggests that action isn't just the effect of motivation, it's also the cause of it. Feeling stuck? Just do something, anything. Take the smallest possible step. This action generates new feedback, creates momentum, and often motivation follows. It's about valuing the process over the outcome, and understanding that mistakes are just data points on the path to learning and improvement. Finally, Manson brings it all home with a rather stark reminder: you are going to die. This isn't meant to be morbid, but rather a powerful tool for perspective. Confronting our own mortality, Manson argues, helps us clarify what's truly important. It cuts through the trivial anxieties and societal pressures, forcing us to ask, what legacy do I want to leave? What impact do I want to have? What truly matters in the limited time I have? By accepting the finiteness of life, we can be more courageous in choosing our values, more deliberate in where we invest our energy, and less afraid to let go of the superficial bullshit. It encourages us to live a life that is authentic and aligned with what we find truly meaningful, rather than just chasing fleeting pleasures or external validation. So, the subtle art of not giving a FCK isn't about apathy. It's about intentionality. It's about choosing your FCS wisely, embracing responsibility, accepting life's inherent struggles, and defining your own values. It's a raw, honest, and refreshingly practical guide to living a more contented and meaningful life. Not by avoiding negatives, but by learning to handle them better. What are your thoughts on Mark Manson's philosophy? What's one thing you are going to consciously choose not to give a F***CK about starting today? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your insights. If you found this summary helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into impactful books. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.